Hello everyone and welcome back to, wait for it, Recettear, an item shop's tale. That's right, I looked up the not the definition, but I looked up the pronunciation. Her name is Recette. Or Rosette, rather. Or something along those lines. It's Recette or Rosette. A much more feminine sounding name. So it is in fact Recettear, an item shop's tale. So that solves that problem. As for our other problem, which is a matter of, oh, let me show you. So basically, a tutorial that I did not show on camera is that on the 8th of this month, I have 10,000 picks that are due. Now I don't know if you've been paying attention to the amount of money we've been making over time, but let's just say that it's not quite enough to get 10,000 picks. So, you're probably wondering, well, what do we do? Well, the solution to that problem is the Adventurers Guild. You lived here your entire life and you don't know where we are. This is the Adventurers Guild. The guild manages expeditions to the various untamed wilderness areas or abandoned ruins near the city. Because what a great place to build a city. The area is commonly referred to as dungeons. Without approval, adventurers cannot visit the dungeons. Ah, nuts. So we can't just go into a dungeon and pick everything we see? If we could do that, we could sell everything. We got it 100% profit. Exactly. And what Recette, I'm gonna go Recette. What Recette there is basically saying is that anything you could get into a dungeon would be gained at 100% profit. It is still a very good idea. A great many people have made fortunes that way. If you wish to do so, however, you must first hire an adventurer. Hire? Can I just pick anybody? The truth of the matter is a bit more complicated. Even if you pay them, few adventurers are willing to risk their lives simply for the benefit of a complete stranger. Ooh, so they turn away people that they don't know very well? Indeed, you should first get to know a few adventurers and build up a certain level of trust with them. If all goes well, they will give you a symbol of their guild membership. This usually takes the form of a card. With that in hand, we can bring an adventurer with us. So it's like they're inviting us to a dinner party. Well, dinner parties usually do not include blood-mad beasts attempting to rip you limb from limb, but the analogy does work. Somewhat. No, I'm pretty sure the analogy doesn't work at all here. Right, so first I need to meet an adventurer. Which for us should not be that difficult, yes? After all, we run an item shop, so we should get a few coming in as clients on a fairly regular basis. Oh yeah, well then I'll do my best to get a dinner invitation. Indeed, just be careful that Recette is not on the menu. Is something wrong? Well, that guy over there. Listen to me. If I can't work, I can't get the money. And if I can't get the money, I can't get the items. And if I can't get the items, apparently I can't work. Ah! Heaven, if I had a few things I could at least visit the Hall of Trials. I wonder what's going on. He seems to be a rookie adventurer, complaining about his inability to complete the required guild test. Test? Well, the guild hardly allows anyone in off the street. You can only work officially for the guild after passing a test. An item shop owner is hardly the only job it challenges. I have an idea. What? I do believe we have found our first adventurer. Wait, what do you mean by, dear, wait! Son of a... I burned what cash I had just getting to this city. If I can't get into the guild, I don't know what I'll ever do for dinner money. Now I'm hungry. Great. Pardon me a moment. You there, adventurer with the seedy look. Who are you calling seedy? Well, you two would be... We are a pair of merchants who happen to be passing by. Merchants? Oh, you heard me talking. Sorry, but I'm way too broke and seedy to buy anything. Believe me, I could tell by your seedy nature that attempting to sell you anything would be a colossal waste of time. Come on, dear, stop with the seedy already. He isn't a plant. So, are you two going to prune me or what here? That shouldn't be funny, but it is. Alright. Would you like it if we came with you to the Hall of Trials? If you require equipment or items, we could provide them. I'd call you a pair of angels then, but why? Business, naturally. We help you pass the trial, you provide us with your car. Oh, I get it. We help Mr. Swordsman clear the dungeon, and then he gives us his car to sign up for our eternal friendship. Eternal friendship is rather irrelevant in this case, but it does work out neatly for all of us, don't you say? I see, you guys are pretty new in Elders too, huh? Our offer, Mr. Swordsman? Yes or no?
Yes.
Alright then, heck, I've got nothing to lose, well aside from my precious life anyways. Yayifications! Yayifications. Recette! Glad to meet you two. I'm Recette. Nice to meet you. I'm Tyr. Call me Louis. Louis the Swordsman. Good to meet you. Yes, yes. Now then, we'll begin all the preparations for dungeon night, including a visit to the central market to pick up food and other restorative items. We will then return here for you when you're ready. Right, I'll be waiting here. Alright, so this is a solution to a lot of our problems. You don't need any equipment, he comes with his own equipment. What you do need is some food. Which will help you restore your HP and SP? I forget what it's called in this game. You probably don't even need that much, to be honest, but better safe than sorry. Alright, let's get the adventure underway! Loading, loading, always loading. Ah, here we go. The Hall of Trials. So this is the dungeon. Just so, welcome to the jungle, as they say. You know, aren't we just going to hold Louis back here? I mean, I'm not a monster slayer, I'm scared. The two of us are perfectly safe. There is a protective field around the two of us. To the monsters, we may as well be invisible. Really? That's amazing. So Louis is perfectly safe too then? Not quite. Why not? While in the field, we do not need to worry about monsters, but this is accomplished by making us virtually intangible to everything inside this place. We can directly manipulate nothing. Wait, we can't collect things? Why are we here then? That's why our adventurer remains outside the field. Oh, I see. He'll pick stuff up for us. Should our adventurer be injured, we can place him in the field and retreat. Since we must carry him back, however, we can take very little else with us, one item at most. So even if we run into trouble, we don't lose everything? But wait, I thought you said we can't. Yes, I will elaborate further if need be later. Naturally, if we get out safely, we can bring as much as our bags will allow us to carry. Cool, wait, as much as our bags will allow? While our bags are not bottomless, if we run out of space, it will be up to us to decide what to keep or discard. So, the adventurer focuses on adventuring, or the adventurer focuses on adventure, blah, something like that. While we keep track of what loot he should keep. I guess that makes sense. KO day, let's get to it. Oop! Oh, that was really stupid. Okay, so to give you a basis of what's happening here, it's basically like a top-down JRPG, non-turn-based JRPG. You have SP and HP, which it was SP, and your SP determines your special ability to do special attacks, which you're gonna equip on later. And then you attack with the A button and special with the B button. Pick up items with the A button as well. And along the way you get experience points. It's pretty standard affair. If you ever played Ys, it's pretty much like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Ys, you may have seen it pronounced Ys, because of Y, it's Y apostrophe S. But it's pronounced Ys, I think. Whatever. Anyways, when you level up, your HP and SP completely refill. Your primary objective here is not actually to get through the dungeon. Remember, this is about collecting items, because, you know, we're learning how to run an item shop. So, what just happened is... Okay, that's it. When you go... We have 1 odd sword. Now here you have 1 odd sword plus 1, which has slightly more attack. That doesn't seem like much, but we'll equip it on him for now, so I can demonstrate. Now, as you note here, it's still marked adventure. His sword is still marked adventurer's possessions, which means he still owns the sword. So when we leave the dungeon, all of the equipment that we equipped it to him is given back to us, and all of his equipment is given back to him. Meaning that we still get to sell the stuff we equipped on him. And he gets to keep it, so we can't just steal stuff from him. So that looks like it's it for this floor. Ah! As you can see, there's traps too that you can fall into. You want to try to avoid those, but you can't always. With Louis, he has a shield, so if you hold still, he'll block. At least if they attack him from the front, or he gets hit from the front. If he's hit from the side or anything, that won't work. Same with enemies. They have more defense from the front, less from the back, and the sides. Of course, there's different variations, like back attack will deal more damage than a side attack, but a side attack will deal more damage than a front attack. It's surprisingly complex, considering this is about making an item shop and not about going through dungeons. But the dungeons are a big way that you can get through the game without encountering too much trouble. Ow. That did not go well. Now if you run low, if you ever run low on items, or sorry, not items, HP and SP, then you can use basically things that look like they'd be sweet will recover SP, and things that look like they would be hearty or good to eat will recover HP. You kind of have to use your logic to figure out which is which. It's not always clearly stated in the item description, but you'll figure out eventually which items do what, and then you just won't have any issues with it. It looks like we've explored everything on this floor. Got a few good items. This first dungeon is only 5 floors long, so you shouldn't have any issues with this. I would recommend bringing some items in and practicing a little bit before you advance on the floors, because fighting enemies can take a little getting used to. And ooh. Nice. That is an incredibly powerful item. The thing about items that have pluses in them is that they don't, they do have a higher attack power, but their base price, at least I don't think, their base price is any higher than it would be normally. That being said, you can increase an item with plus something or other in the base prices and sell it for more than you would normally, and people would be more willing to accept it. An orange. Then if you were trying to just sell them the base item without any bonuses on it. So we've actually made quite a good haul so far, which is good, because we need all the items we can get at this point. Let's see what's up here. Ow. Oh, and every once in a while you will get critical. Hopefully it's not just when you're swinging your sword in the air, because that can happen, and that sucks. Criticals are plentiful in this game, though, so it's not something that's that rare. You will eventually see a critical, and it'll probably happen often enough where when you waste a crit swinging through the air normally, it won't bother you any. And another level. As you probably can figure, you level up a lot sooner in the first dungeon, and then the further you get, the less likely it is you're going to level. But don't worry if you just think Louis is a boring character. He is not the only adventurer. You will get other adventurers that you can hire. Ow. And those other adventurers will have different special attacks and abilities. So, I recommend fully exploring everything. This is not the kind of game where you want to just rush forward to the end of the dungeon. You want to defeat all the enemies you can, get all the items you can, and then you can go to the end of the dungeon. Ugh. Ow. Now, I haven't fully decided what exactly I should do when editing dungeons because there's not really a lot to say to them other than how was your day, which you can't respond to me directly during the video anyways because it's not a live stream. So I might edit. Remember what I was saying when I talked about wasted bits? Yeah. There's not much to say for a lot of it. It's a lot of the same enemies being repeated over and over again, and it's fun, don't get me wrong. I'm just not entirely sure how fun it is to watch or listen to me talk over it. So I might either just not say as much over dungeons, or I might still show them to you, but speed up the video in the future. I haven't decided yet. Because despite the fact that this might, this is the meat, what you do in the meat of most games, this is really just a side diversion in this game. Which is kind of funny if you think about it. If you guys have any opinions on... Oh, shoot. And... Boom, boom, boom. If you guys have any opinions on... if you want me to fast forward through these dungeon sections or display them in their full glory, then let me know in the comments. Also, something like the question marks we can't use yet. So if you have to dump an item in order to carry another item, then dump one of the question marks, right? Because at this point, they are not useful at all. Oh, and enemies do respawn, so keep an eye on that. You don't want to think that you can just wander around the dungeon, like, once you've defeated everything, because enemies will come back. Alright, we're at the end of the dungeon. This is... Did I do it? I did, didn't I? I did it. I've cleared the Hall of Trials. Oh, sweet mystery of life. Now you'll give me money. Way to go, Louis. Recettear. This is all thanks to you guys. This is all well and good, but there is a treasure chest just ahead. It behooves us to investigate thoroughly. Tyr, you really do like going for the money, don't you? Well, I do not spot such foolishness. There is no need to treat me like a flying ball of greed. Hey now, I love me some treasure too. Don't worry, Tyr. I feel you on this. Really, you two completely misunderstand me. So, the contents of the chest? Give me a second here. Hey! Wow, cards! So this is an adventurer's kit card. Here, Recette, take one like we promised. Huh? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you did promise to give us your card eventually. We're not so crass as to demand your very first card. You really should think about who you want to give your first... No, I want this. Recette, I beg you, please take my very first card. I'd love to. Thanks, Louis. Awesome, I can't wait to adventure with you two some more. Murday, really now, young people. Hey Tyr, what's this thing that just showed up? Ah yes, that is commonly referred to as a go-home. What am I? Door of return, I mean. If you enter that door, you can return to town in an instant. This one has appeared because we have cleared the dungeon, but they're often encountered during normal exploration too. I believe they usually appear roughly every 5 levels or so. But wait, if we take this back to town when we're halfway in, don't we have to start all the way from the beginning again? Not at all. You can always head back to the floor that had a door on it. In fact, if you do not use a door, you do have to restart. So if we find a door, we should always use it. Almost always. If we need to rest or unload, then we should use the door. Remember though, returning home takes time. Furthermore, leaving ends the current contract with our companion, and we will have to rehire him or choose a new one. If there is something specific in a dungeon that you desire, you can simply ignore the doors and press onward. Alright then, I think we have to go home now, though. Wait a second. Oh, just to be sure, in the future, please try to avoid referring this as going home, yes? Okay. I'm sure some of you guys get that and others don't, but I'm not going to explain it. And just like that, we have cleared the dungeon and collected a large number of useful items. Oh, another thing. Adventurers and other people you know will come in. So as you see here, Louis is here. And he wants to plot, and this is another excellent opportunity to show something else. He wants to buy the showcase item Scrap Plate. Which is great because it's better than his leather armor. As you see, it increases magical defense, but decreases his defense somewhat. So, now is an opportunity. He will equip this if you sell it to him. Meaning that while Louis is a bit poor and doesn't really have that much money, if you give him a deal, he'll actually equip the item. Alright, so from now on, Louis will have the Scrap Plate equipped when we go into dungeons with him. So that's something to keep in mind. Woo! See, that is all money we made that we didn't have to spend to get the item. Today we exceeded expectations. So that's it for day 3 of Recettear, an item shop's tale. Tomorrow we'll sell more stuff. Our primary objective should now be to get to 10,000 picks. And I think we should have the ability to do that if we are careful about how much we